Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. This is Saint Germaine. Haven't seen you for some time. In this particular way. And it is good to be back in your presence in this way again. To share this love and energy, this light. To bask in the rays of love, the violet rays. So much to talk about. So much to experience together. We wait our turns to come through and speak with you. It seems as if years go by, though it may only be weeks. So much is happening. You are all growing and changing so much. You are shining brighter than you were last time I was here. But I am shining brighter also. Tonight I would like to work with you internally and intellectually also in areas concerning self-love and receiving, opening to receive. It is critical at this time. You are also dedicated and open in your pursuits of your goals, of your ultimate goals, spiritual enlightenment. But there is often an ingredient in the recipe which is a little bit slim or left behind or forgotten. And it is a vital ingredient, a crucial ingredient. And that is your own self-love, self-acceptance, your own openness to receive love, to receive the bounty of life, the bounty of spirit. Many times you get very disciplined in your pursuits, your meditations, your practices. And this is very good, this is very beneficial. Yet there is, let me say, a subtle door within your hearts, a subtle door within you that needs to be kept ajar, that needs to be open to receive the bounty and the results of all of your actions, all of your sincerity. If you are harboring within your consciousness ideas of unworthiness, ideas of not deserving, or other concepts concerning what is required in order to experience this or that level of love and light and spirit. If you are harboring any ideas, these are acting somewhat as door jams to your ability to open fully and to receive all the blessings that are intended for you. So tonight we will do a little work on kicking out the jams. And I think there will be others here assisting. Watana sends his regards. And Jesus is here also, working with your hearts. Tonight I get to be the mouthpiece. and share the ideas and my energies. So let me say, for example, I'm sure none of you fall into this category, but I am using this as a general example. Let us say you are very dedicated in your spiritual practice. You meditate 2 to 3 hours per day, and you give yourself regular attendance to channelings of some sort or to other spiritual activities. Let us say you are very dedicated and devoted. And yet, if you are holding within your consciousness any ideas concerning the work ethic as related to spiritual practice, to how many hours you must meditate, or to what kind of person you need to be before you can experience fully, then you are somewhat being a little bit counterproductive to your ability to receive the full blessings that are available. So there is, you see, an ingredient. There is a subtle relaxing or releasing or letting go of your own ideas or of your own feelings of unworthiness. There is a need for you to have within yourselves at all times unconditional love for yourselves. If you wish to experience the full magnificence of this new age that is blossoming all around you and within you. Self-love. Only with self-love will you allow yourself to experience the full presence that you have. It is almost like reprogramming yourselves. All your lives you have been told that you need to work hard and to become a special kind of person in order to deserve this or that. You have all of your concepts about your personality or your worthiness, all of your ideas. And what you do is you measure yourselves constantly against your ideas, your idealized picture of what you would like to be or what you feel you should be. And when you fail to measure up to your ideals, you restrict, you punish yourselves by cutting back on your love for yourself, on your unconditional love. You say, well, I am not measuring up, so I am not going to love myself unconditionally today. I am going to love myself 50%. When you do this, your heart chakra closes 50% and limits the amount of love and experience that you can have in your life, in your daily practical experience. So what you need to do is reprogram yourselves a little bit, or shall I say deprogram yourselves. Your mind will continue to hold ideas and concepts about levels of worthiness or levels of perfection, ideals. Yet you must, in the face of this programming, continue to love yourselves unconditionally, no matter how you seem to measure up in your own minds. It is difficult at times, depending on how strong your programming is, or how self-critical you may be. We all have varying degrees of this. It has served you to a certain extent, but it has become a little bit more overgrown or overblown. So now it is time to trim that self-criticism back and reprogram yourself to love yourselves unconditionally, no matter how you measure up. And when you find yourselves, when you catch yourself trying to limit, trying to judge yourself negatively, you may come up to the conclusion, well, I was not very effective today in meeting my standards, but I am going to love myself 100% anyway. I am going to give myself a special treat today because I didn't measure up to my standards. You need to be a little more radical in your approach. You see the blessings of Spirit and the Creator are always flowing. They are always with you. There is a certain amount of processing, as you know, which needs to take place, which in and of itself will restrict somewhat your experience from time to time. And yet there is a great deal of power and control that you have over the situation. So if you can begin more and more to love yourselves unconditionally, to take that door and keep it open, no matter what your judgments are, throw your judgments out the window and not your self-love, you will experience a great deal more. You will find manifestation increasing. You will find yourself creating spontaneously the perfect situation for yourself, or more perfect situations, more beauty, more grace, more love. You will find yourself attracting to yourself that which you have longed for. Why do you not attract to yourself that which you long for? It is because your self-love, your self-acceptance, and your receiving capacity has been somewhat damaged by your own self-criticisms, etc., your own self-concepts. It's time to throw all that out the window. And you can do this. You may have to work on yourselves a little bit at a time. It is too radical for you to openly accept all of the love that you have been withholding from yourselves all at once. It might seem a little bit too much or overpowering to you. I would suggest that you have a conscious observance of your activities, of your attitudes, and do a little bit of revolutionary work upon yourselves. Do a little radical readjustment of your ordinary patterns. Blow up a few railway lines in your head. Cut a few telegraph cables. Create a little bit of a disturbance in your usual routines of belief. It is time now to be more radical. It is not time to be passive and go along with your programming. Your programming is based on illusion. It is time to throw the illusions away. And you can experience life at an entirely new level. You can experience joy and manifestation. I'm not saying it is easy. I'm not saying it will happen to you overnight. Some of you understand this process more than others. And you know that you are on a path which is gradually or quickly becoming more and more beautiful, and your powers to manifest and your feelings of being nurtured and loved and having what you desire are growing. This is the path. This is the way it works. To whatever degree you are ready to receive, this is the degree you will receive. So you see, I am putting a little bit of the responsibility back upon you. It is our responsibility as ascended masters and teachers, as guides to you, to focus the light, to focus the power and energy that is flowing through in ways that you can assimilate, integrate, and use and experience. And this we are doing to the best of our capacities. Your responsibility is to receive this in an open-hearted way and to allow this energy to flow through your being and to transform you. So you can see here the critical link between self-love and the ability to receive and your own spiritual progress. Your responsibility is to open to receive. We cannot kick the door open like the untouchables. We can lean against it rather heavily. We can send some light through the cracks to show you that the door is, that there is a visitor, let me say. It is for you to get up and turn the handle and open the door. Take a few steps to do this. There is an analogy you might make. Let us say you are sitting in your living room. It is 9:30 at night. Someone knocks on the door. You don't know who it is. You have a choice. You can say, well, it is too late. I don't want to answer the door. I don't care who it is. Or you can get up and let your curiosity get the better of you and look through the peephole a little bit and open the door and experience something in your life, something new, a new contact, a new experience, a new energy, presence. And so we are knocking on your doors all the time, daily. Most of the time you open the door, sometimes you do not. Sometimes you do not hear the door. We knock a little bit louder, but many times you are otherwise engaged. But I am telling you, do not be afraid to open the door. So, how do you do this? How do you receive this energy? How do you awaken your self-love? How do you become unconditionally loving? You need to pay attention to your feelings. You need to pay attention to your intuitions. And perhaps a little bit to have some common sense as well concerning what is best for you, what is most satisfying in your life. Nothing that you do not already possess in great measure. There are many programmings and ways that you have been dealt with in your lives which have told you not to listen to your feelings, but to override them continually, not to seek for what you would really want, but to seek for something that you think you can have, etc. So your feelings have become a little bit thwarted or neglected. But your feeling nature is connected to your will, which is connected to your higher self. And your higher self is very wise, your I am presence. It knows you inside and out, and it knows God, and it knows how to manifest. There is part of you which knows how to do miracles right now. There is part of you which knows how to love unconditionally, how to manifest perfect changes, how to create spontaneously, how to fulfill desires perfectly. And that part of you is your I am presence, your higher self. And that part of you is, let me say, the door. That is the door upon which we knock to connect with you. We come through your higher selves. So open to your higher selves by following your feelings and intuitions, by acting upon your inspirations, by listening, by not being afraid of your own feelings. And again, common sense is in order, because there are many beings who have their feeling natures so damaged by a third-dimensional existence that their feelings are telling them to do strange deeds that would be very harmful to others and to themselves. I don't think any of you fall into that category, yet still you must use your common sense as well. So what does it come down to then? For each of you, practically speaking, I would say, you have to begin in small ways. If you wish to open to self-love and to receiving more and more, continue on the ways that you have been in your meditations. And you're working with us, the Ascended Masters. When you open the door to us, you often get much more than you bargained for. We can come in and do some house cleaning on your ideas about yourselves in a very radical way. If you can open to an experience of light, let me say, this will be an added dimension to your being, and you might have a realization that light is part of who you are. In fact, it is an integral part of who you are. So we will blast you with light and presence and love. And our guidance, our whisperings to you, to your intuitions, to your receiving abilities, we will use this to give you ideas, and you can practice them. If you receive a feeling or an intuition that perhaps you will break from your routine today and do an extra half an hour of meditation in the middle of the day for no apparent reason, simply because you feel an inkling to do this, or because you feel a desire to do this. You are loving yourself. You are doing something that you want to do. There is no need to have another reason besides that you want to do it. You do not need to justify in order to love yourself. You simply need to be spontaneous, as a child is spontaneous. How many of you eat ice cream? When you were a child, you needed no reason to reward yourself with ice cream. You simply wanted it and you asked for it, and sometimes you got it. And when you get older, sometimes you have to feel a special justification to indulge in ice cream. Oh, I deserve this ice cream because I did this and this, or I'm celebrating this or this occasion, so I'm going to have ice cream. You see, what you have done is you have distanced yourself from that self-love which simply wants to accommodate your desires, that childlike part of you. Children are the best manifestors on earth. They have no money, they have no social status, no power, and they always get what they want. It is adults who have a problem because they are constantly justifying, trying to justify getting what they want, or figuring out if they can afford it. I would really like to do this, but I don't think I can afford it. How many times do you limit yourself? It's a tricky business, isn't it? This is why I say to start out in small ways. You may want a Mercedes, but you need to develop your self-love and your ability to manifest, perhaps to a higher degree before you can take the leap in that area, but you can start in smaller ways and test the universe, test the love of your higher self, test the power of your higher self to create that which you desire by giving yourself a little bit over the line, let me say. Let's say you only wanted to spend $10 and you saw something that was perfect for $20 and it was going to take you $10 over your budget, and your feeling nature and your intuition was telling you, yes, but this is perfect, and you had to choose between what you felt that you could afford and what your programming was telling you you could afford and what you wanted. That's a good way to start. It only costs $10 to find out if your higher self can manifest an extra $10 out of universal abundance. The universe is vast. The universe is full. You need to test yourselves a little bit more in this area if you are to see the miracles. And it does not even need to involve money. It could be time. It could be giving yourself some time to do something that you have been putting off. It could be giving yourself a nap for no reason in the middle of the day because you feel drowsy. Allowing yourself to be a little bit less responsible to your patterns and a little bit more responsible to your feelings. There are many ways that you can begin to love yourselves more. And this ability to receive, this training that you can work upon giving yourselves, benefits you in many ways on many levels of experience. When you sit to meditate, what are you doing? You are being childlike and innocent. You are opening your heart. You are simply focusing your concentration. Let us say you are doing the breath meditation, simply focusing your concentration on your breath and opening yourself to receive. If you know how to receive, you can meditate. If you know how to receive, you will not feel unworthy of accepting beautiful experiences from Spirit, from your own higher self. And this is the bottom line. This is the ultimate challenge, the ultimate importance of learning to receive and have self-love, so that you can receive your own true self into your body and become whole again. Becoming whole again is another way of describing the Ascension. For you need to receive your light bodies, do you not? There are many times ideas and feelings that I need to meditate for so many years or so many hours per day in order to experience the ultimate experience of my own light body, my own higher self manifesting. This is simply more programming. It is applying the Puritan work ethic to spirituality. You may feel inspired to meditate regularly. You may feel inspired, and I hope you do, to devote yourself to this practice. Yet, it is not to be done out of a sense of guilt or out of anything except a pure desire for joy. Yes, I desire to experience more joy in my life, more happiness, more love. It is a good thing that children that do not know how to meditate, they would do nothing else because they would find a way to experience ultimate joy, ultimate peace, satisfaction, and excitement, and you would not be able to get them out of their closets. They would not learn their lessons in the world. They would not go to school. They would not withhold from themselves this experience which is so incredible. So now you are adults and you have learned your lessons, you have gone to your schools. They have damaged you to whatever degree they have. They have programmed you to believe many ways. You have been for some time deprogramming. It seems that as though ever since you leave the schoolroom, you are unlearning much of what you did learn. But nevertheless, you are adults and you have the skills needed to apply yourself to life. So now you can indulge yourselves in that spiritual ice cream. and give it to yourselves. This is part of the test and part of the challenge that you have all accepted by choosing to be a human being at this time. Consciously, you chose to be here, and knowing, somewhat at least, that there would be a lot of static in the air, that there would be a lot of resistance to you being who you really are, knowing that it would not necessarily be easy, but that it would be extremely rewarding. And it is. If it were not for the negativity and the emotional darkness, the fear and all of the anger and hatred of this world, all that has been inspired by the fallen masters, fallen angels, I should say, your powers of manifestation would already, no doubt, be fully manifest, your powers of self-love, and you would probably already be walking as ascended masters. But you gave yourself a challenge here in entering this crazy world, as Watana calls it, with all of the crazy beings, for a purpose, and to teach and to be examples, to shine light in darkness and illuminate and show the way to others. It is for this reason that you do have difficulties in manifesting and loving yourselves unconditionally, and you do feel resistance, and you do feel difficulties. And you cannot always count on being able to meditate with 100% focus. It is not your fault. It is your situation. It is part of what you are here to overcome. But it does not alter the reality and the truth of your needing to love yourselves unconditionally, despite all of this resistance to it, to receive, to learn to receive. For in your teaching yourselves this, or allowing yourselves to learn this, you are doing just what you came here to do. You are shining the light in the darkness. You are showing the way to others. When you do not neglect your own feelings, when you decline to overpower your own feelings, you stand out from the crowd in this world. In this world where everyone is constantly suppressing their feelings and desires out of fear or out of a feeling of not belonging. So when you refuse to do this, you will, just in that action alone, no matter how small of a decision or a situation it is, be teaching. When you say no, when you are supposed to say yes, or when you say yes, when you are supposed to say no, you are teaching. You are opening the door a little bit. You are opening a crack. You are ruffling some feathers, aren't you? How many of you have told people about the Ascension process? It's rather a feather ruffling affair, isn't it? And this is somewhat what you are here to do, with discrimination, of course, with common sense. I would not try to have an audience with the Pope just yet. I don't think he is ready to hear about this. You understand what I am saying. Nevertheless, you are here, and you are doing well. I am giving you a little bit of a boost tonight. Sometimes it may feel like a kick in the pants, depending on your perspectives. I wish you to all know just how wonderful you are, how incredible you are, how courageous. Forget about your ideas of your limitations, etc. You are all beautiful beings. You are already standing out from the crowd. You are already shining. I am simply telling you that you need to love yourselves unconditionally. It does some good to love yourselves a little bit more than most people do. Then you will receive a little bit more than most people do. But if you can love yourselves unconditionally, learn how to do this, then you can experience all that you are intended to experience, which is quite a bit. You are deserving of everything. You are deserving of all the prosperity and abundance. You are deserving of all of the beauty and love in your relationships. There is nothing wrong with you that you do not deserve this. You are deserving of beautiful places to live. You are deserving of beautiful foods to eat. You are deserving of incredible experiences in meditation. You are deserving to have a continuous experience of your connection with your higher self and with your ascended guides and teachers. An unbroken chain of experience flowing from the masters, from your higher self to you. You are deserving of this. And it will manifest. One way or the other, all of your dreams are going to come true. So, dream big. And be conscious in your dreaming, in your desires and feelings of the essence of what it is you would like to experience in your lives. When you give yourself these little lessons in self-love and acceptance, make sure you are going in the path that you wish to go in. Make sure that you are following after the essence of what it is you desire. If it is love you desire, ask for love. Don't ask for a relationship with a particular person. It might be the wrong person. But if you ask for love, you will get love. You see what I mean? Go within and ask yourselves what it is ultimately you are trying to experience or achieve. So I think it would be good tonight to do a little bit of meditation, but I would like to open the floor for questions. So now is your opportunity to ask me any questions. I'm sure I have confused you so to such an extent that you may need some clarification or further confusion.
Saint Germaine, I know you've talked to us about physical processing and emotional processing and all that, but I've been extremely tired and exhausted the last few days, and I wondered if there was anything specific, and also sort of a self-testing in my consciousness about the very thing you're talking about tonight. It's like out of the clear blue.
Well, there is a definite increase in the energy lately. There is a definite intensification I think Ashtar warned you about this period of time. He wasn't kidding. So unfortunately, one of the aspects of this is that the greater the light, the greater the purification, and it is transforming you quite beautifully, I might add. Your way of experiencing this physical transformation at this point is, I think, this tiredness. Others are experiencing it in other ways, other symptoms or other sensations, but I tell you, it is a major accomplishment to go from a physical being to an ascended being. It is not a small change or transformation, it is radical change. So your atoms and cells are being stressed a little bit. Or let me say, the increased activity of your atoms is stressing your cells. I think you can love yourself and accept a little bit more in the way of rest if you feel the desire to do so, if you feel the need. This is a prime example of what I am speaking of. You are not programmed to take a nap, let me say, in the middle of your day, or to take time off from work because you are overtired. You are programmed to keep working and keep charging through life because that's what you do and that's how you pay your way in life. So now your body is telling you perhaps to take a rest at an unusual time, a time that goes against your patterns and your beliefs, and you must choose whether to listen to your feelings and your body or to override or suppress that feeling. This is just an example, but this is a way that you can open to self-love, to give yourself something that you would not ordinarily give yourself, to spoil yourself a little bit. You are not alone in this. All who are on the ascension path, in fact, all who are on the planet are undergoing this transformation to some extent. Because you have given yourself to the ascension path, you have, let me say, kicked out the jams a little bit and are receiving more direct work. We are focusing the light a little bit more intensely with you, with all of you. So this is why. It is not that you are doing something wrong. It is not that you are falling into a state of ill health. You can take care of yourself in this way, of course. This would be good for you. I don't think there's really any way to get around the transformation that is occurring on the cellular level and the feelings. It is more a way of how you react to it and what you do about it that decides how graceful or how easy your transition is. If you continue to try to follow your old patterns and you are receiving something new in the way of this, it may be more difficult than if you spoil yourself, or I don't want to say spoil that. It's a little bit too much for you at this point, I think. Let us say accept a change in your routine from
I have another question. Similar things going on for the whole week last week, and I had some physical stuff. Nothing that was that serious, but felt a lot of things were going on. I was feeling in the first part of the week really spacey, and I think a lot was going on. As you're talking about tonight, I felt like I was being maybe too hard on myself, too disciplined, and then I felt a lot. What was happening was there was a lot of stuff was just kind of disintegrating. Big chunks of these patterns were loosening up, and I didn't really know how to relate to it because it felt so strange to me. And then I felt really, really tired also and kind of confused, like I was losing my mind.
Yes,
And-
you are definitely losing your mind.
But I realized today I was when I got a little clearer. I felt a little better yesterday, and today I got clearer. And I realized I was losing my mind. I was trying to hold on to it, and that was what was the problem was that I was creating for myself. So anyway,
I think for you it is playtime.
yeah,
You are very disciplined and somewhat structured in your approach to life. You are very experienced in your spiritual practice. I think you need to experience a little more play in your life, a little more craziness, if I may be so bold. You are too sane. Most of you are too crazy. This one is too sane. We are working to bring a balance